Good morning, everyone. We'll wait for a couple of minutes, maybe 2-3 minutes more, and then we'll start today's webinar. Hi, good morning, everyone. We welcome you to the webinar on scaling up FSSM in UP, the lessons learned. This is our own story. In our program today, many of the attendants are from Uttar Pradesh, and therefore we may use a couple of Hindi words along with English. And before we start, 1 or 2 words about our organization, CSE, Center for Science and Environment. For those who do not know us, CSE is an NGO, so it's not so CS is an NGO almost 35 years old, and this is an organization that works around environment topics. And main agenda of the organization is to find out data, facts, and present to the people to influence public policies and practices to promote sustainable development. And CSE work of CSE has been acknowledged by many, including international organization and government of India and various ministries also. And also I am part of and CS's main work, works around 4 major pillars. One is action research, and based on the finding, we go for advocacy. And also we do curated capacity development programs, and we encourage cross learnings. And I am part of the water program myself, Shubroto Chakraborty. And under water program, there are a couple of verticals. I'm along with many some of the pertinent topics. We also work with the Uttar Pradesh state government, and this is an implementation support program. And under research and advocacy, we work under various thematic areas. I mean, this ranges from air pollution and mobility to climate change, industry, everything. And we have a state-of-the-art training institute very close to Delhi in Nimli, and this is a green campus, Anil Agarwal Environment Training Institute. And we have a environment monitoring lab for pollution monitoring, and we do communication, public communication, and we have several wings for doing public communication. We have a media resource center. We regularly publish down to earth in English, Hindi, and we have digital editions. And we have regularly we do regularly update our website. We send e-newsletters, etc. And with this, we come to today's agenda. Today's agenda, we have Mr. P.K. Srivastava, who is Additional Mission Director of Amrut, Government of UP. Under Amrut, most of the schemes we have, the FSSM projects we have in UP are funded out of Amrut program. P.K. Srivastava plays a critical and crucial role in promotion of FSSM in UP, and we are fortunate Mr. P.K. Srivastava sir has given us time, and he is here today to deliver the keynote address. And once this is done, I will be sharing you the scaling up UP FSSM journey as quickly as possible, because this is a journey of more than 5 years we are having here. And after that, my colleague Hari, he will be sharing the challenges and opportunities we have of dislodging from the narrow lens of medium and small cities of UP. Welcome, Hari, here. And after that, we have a good time for having question and answer and sharing our own experiences. And I request you all to be here with us till the end and share your experience and ask any question. With this, I request I'm stopping sharing my screen, and I request P.K. Srivastava sir to please deliver the address.
Thank you, Subrato, for giving me this opportunity to share my experiences of FSTP and co-treatment plant, which is being operated in Uttar Pradesh with the support of Center for Science and Environment. Initially, it looks like a very tough task for me and for our senior officers to operate and maintain this FSTP and co-treatment plant, because this issue is linked with the citizen participation. Without citizen participation, any such type of plants or solid waste management plant or FSTP or co-treatment plant can't be run successfully. But by the consistent support of Science for CSE, we are able to say that in Amrit cities is more than 1 lakh population. There are 60 cities. Out of 60, we are able to operate FSTP and co-treatment plant in 55 cities. There is one city where the project is the physical work is progress, and the 90% work has been completed in Mau. But remaining plants are completed and functional. But there is some issue of the functionality with reference to its capacity, because most of the plants are not running their full capacity. Most of the plants are running in the half of this capacity, where there is a 32 KLD capacity, so it is being operated on only 16 or 17 KLD capacity. So these issues we have to we have to address, and we are addressing. There are some issues in the big cities like Lucknow, Varanasi, or Prayagraj, where the distances are very much there. So in that area where the areas which are not covered with sewerage network, and the co-treatment plant has been established within the campus of STP. But what is being experienced that most of the private operators are not going to the plant site, and instead of going to plant, they are releasing their fecal sludge in the SPS, which is nearby their locations where they collect the fecal sludge. So we are also will address this challenge, this issue. How can we be able to address? Second thing is the other challenge is the realization of user charges, because without user charges, any plant can't be run for long time. With the help of CSE, we have drafted a model bylaws, and CSE people calculated very scientifically the distance-based user charges, and we have issued all the concerned ULBs to these model bylaws, so that they could able to discuss in their house, elected house, and they could able to get sanction from their house and get notified from the Gazette. So this all is in the we are in very positive pathway. Recently, 1 week back, we have taken a Zoom meeting with all the stakeholders, all the executive officers, all the corporations, and the response was very positive. So I am very thankful to CSE, especially Subrato, because they are very willingly, they are really working with very much passion. So I am very hopeful. And one more thing we are doing here, in 4 FSTP, we have engaged the women SHGs, self-help groups. The towns is the Raebareli, Sitapur, Jaunpur, and Khurja. On all the 4 plants is running very successfully. Initially, we had very doubt whether these women could able to operate the plant, but at least I think it is a 2 months time over past. So these the report I am getting, these all 4 plants are operated very successfully, and the CSE is continuously, consistently giving them the technical support and technical training. Except Amrit city, there are some more cities who are running their FSTP with their own sources, just like Jhansi. Before the Amrit came in their town, they prepared 2 FSTPs from their own fund, and both the FSTPs being operated very successfully. And two more FSTP is with the support of NMCG fund, has been constructed in Chunar and Bijnor town. The both towns, the hand holding was given by FCSE, and both towns are doing well. And one more small town, small Nagar Panchayat is a Bakshi Ka Talab nearby Lucknow. They have constructed their FSTP with their own fund, and that is also operational. So in Uttar Pradesh, the journey of FSTP and co-treatment plant is going very good, very well. And I am hopeful that in near future, we will be a fast runner in this front after Orissa. So this is my this I wanted to share something, and some challenges are remain there, and we are working on that with the help of CSE, and I think uh, was the things which we wanted to share. Again, I am thankful to CSE and Subrato. He has given me this opportunity to share my experiences.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind words to me and my organization, CSE. And you have rightly pointed out a couple of things. And that sludge is the biggest problem. And without public participation, we cannot make this program successful. And among these cities, big cities are also a problem. And costing is very important. You have rightly pointed out. If things are not affordable, things cannot be made sustainable. And incorporation of SHGs in the whole journey is a new inspiration for all of us. And the way SHG humans are working in a cost-effective manner and also efficiently. This is very encouraging. We will take this forward. Thank you for your time, sir. If it is possible, you be there with us and maybe end of the session, after my session and Hari's presentation, there might be some questions. So if you are there, we'll be happy.
Sure, I will be.
Okay. So,
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So I'm sharing my screen quickly. So, I'm quickly going to my presentation, quickly sharing what our Uttar Pradesh scaling up, FSSM scaling up uh, experience and the lessons and challenges we have done. So it's not easy. So in the screen, I just want to share that this is on the left side, we have FSTP Chunar UP, which is a nature-based solution FSTP. And on the right also FSTP Jhansi UP, and in the mid there is co-treatment plant Bijnor UP. Those CSC as a knowledge partner worked with State Mission for Clean Ganga and National Mission for Clean Ganga to work on these two plants. We are really proud of working in Chunar and Bijnor. I want to convey my gratitude to the city officials and also to the SMCG and MCG officials for that. So we have learned a lot for while we started working in UP, and also we have started working with Jhansi also later, and we are learning from there as well. Jhansi is a pioneering city. One of the earliest first plant in UP came from Jhansi. That's why Jhansi's picture is here on the slides. Just to give a quick background of India and Uttar Pradesh scenario. So in Uttar Pradesh, 240 million people lives in urban space, which is 22%, and there are 760 plus cities, and 14% have pipe sewer services. This means that 86% people are dependent on the on-site sanitation systems like septic tanks. So providing services to this 86% people is an important and critical task to keep our rivers and water bodies clean. And this journey started before 2018 when CSC has done street flow diagram studies, more than 60 towns of UP, and make this as an agenda at the state level and national level. In 2018, first FSTP in UP came in Jhansi, which is a 6-scaled nature-based FSTP. And based on various other activities in 2019, tender for more 61 plants floated. And at that point of time, the target for UP was to have 62 plants, 22 co-treatment plants and 40 FSTPs. Now, in March 23, construction treatment plants and 39 FSTPs. Out of these 59 plants, one plant is still under construction. So 58 plants are infra ready in UP. So once plants are infra ready, then the next level of operational challenges comes in. During the construction phase, we faced couple of challenges in UP, and some of the challenges I want to just quickly give you snapshots on. So clarity on operation and maintenance was not there. We have spoken to the cities and various stakeholders. We found that the plants are being constructed, but people involved in the entire process did not know at that point of time how this plant will run in future. There was no clarity on that. So delay in payment to the contractors was an issue at that point of time. Lack of resources at the plant site was an issue. And these are all these, the 22, 21, 23, these numbers on the top of the vertical axis is the number of cities responded to us when we did this studies June 2022. So reaching to the plant size is an important issue. So having an all-weather approach road is an important so that the vehicle can move inside the plant. So approach road was an issue for 21 plants. So lack of coordination among various departments and sub-departments level officers was an issue. And change in implementation agencies was reported from 13 cities. It means that, say, in UP, Amrut is the funder. When major funder was Amrut. Amrut funded UP Jal Nigam, who is the government agency who is in charge of creation of the infrastructure in various cities. So in turn, UP Jal Nigam contracted out various organizations, various companies to create this infrastructures. So the company who had owned the bid, they have subcontracted their assignment to other organization, other companies. So the company, I mean, these created problems for smooth implementation, smooth construction of the program, and it took time. It delayed the entire process. In between, we had COVID as well. So land acquisition was reported from 12 cities and 3 plants that have been dropped from out of the 62 plants because of land and legal issues. So design approval took time, and the plant selection choice of location was not right in 7 cities. The plants are located close to the water bodies and river, so with the chance of being flooded if the water level rises. So design and repair was concerned, and social interference, public protest, and their problem with having a FSSM site nearby their locality was problem and reported in 4 sites. So these are the problems the state has witnessed during the construction phase. Now coming to the technology part, quickly just touching. So out of these 59 plants, 39 are FSTPs. So in FSTP in UP, there is no state prescription for the cities to have certain a chain of modules. So in UP, we see varied module chains. So there are major two types of technology: nature-based technology and hybrid technologies. And we see that out of the 59 plants, 54 plants have been funded from Amrut with the costing of 198 crores, and urban local bodies have funded 3 plants, and State Mission for Clean Ganga have funded 2 plants. So total 59 plants, and the capex cost is around 200 plus crore. And if we come to the size of the co-treatment plants, we see there are 20 KLT plants to 100 KLT plants, and maximum co-treatment plants are of 25 KLT. So there are 11 co-treatment plants. And when it comes to the FSTPs, we see there are 4 plants which are of 6 KLT, 10 KLT, 12 KLT, 25 KLT, but rest of the 35 plants are of 32 KLT size. And this is because pre-feasibility studies were not conducted in many cities, many plants. So this is a kind of size that has been prescribed, that has been taken up by the state, which may not fit to the context. So, and what we have seen over time is that co-treatment plants in UP are over-designed by adding secondary treatment units, which was not necessary for a sewage septic treatment plant, for use of an anaerobic digester or filter constructed wetland in the co-treatment plants, which is not necessary. And also for FSTPs, use of modules with similar functions are simultaneously used in FSTP. For example, solid liquid separation, both screw press and unplanted drying beds are used simultaneously in some of the plants. So if we have avoided all these things, the capex could have been reduced further. So there is a scope of capex reduction in many areas. So that's what we understand from the technology and oversized plants and all. So with this, we come to from April 2023, we see there are 40 plus plants are ready for operationalization. So the UP moved to the next levels of problems. So the nature of problems have changed from uh, change from construction related problem to the operational challenges problem. So from April 2023, we have come across these problems. Handover of the plant, we never imagined that that could be a problem because the construction was being done, taken UP Jal Nigam. Now, once the construction is over, the construction agency UP Jal Nigam is supposed to hand over the plant to the owner of the plant, which is the local urban local bodies. Now, we thought this would be done in a smooth manner, but this did not happen so. And once the handover is done, arrangement, operation, and maintenance mechanism at the plants to be done, and there is problem as well. So, and then integrating private dislodging operators was an important issue, and then having FSSM bylaws, capacity gap for operation and maintenance of the plants, community awareness, and then low capacity utilization of the plants. These are the some of the problems that the state has faced problem, and state has also taken certain actions that will be quickly sharing here. Now, for the handover part, the handover has not happened smoothly. So the range is from 1 month to more than 1 month. And the handover, the cities which have taken handover, the time range is between 4 to 6 months. And some of the 9 plants, there are 9 plants which are yet to take the handover. And there are many reasons. So the one important reason is the technical problem available in the modules of the plant. So some of the modules are leaking. There are still pending plumbing work and improper design of the screen chambers. All these things are there. So before the handover, UP Jal Nigam has done the construction. UP Jal Nigam wants to hand over the plant to the urban local bodies. Now, urban local bodies have Jalkal department, which is the engineering division and supposed to take care of the plant. So once the plant completion is declared, so UP Jal Nigam engineers are faced by the UP Jalkal engineers. So Jalkal engineers now started to understanding whether the modules are rightly constructed, whether they are effective, whether they are efficient, all this, and what would be the cost of running these plants. All these questions they have started thinking from 2024 April onwards. So, and these has delayed the on a handover process, because when I saw that the faulty construction, faulty modules are given to them, they said, no, you complete the construction part, then you give us, then we'll take them. And the back of their mind, that they are started thinking how to fund the O&M costing, because O&M costing is another part where the state had to do a lot. And also from the state level, there was a little delay in the issue of guidance to the urban local bodies that you should take the handover as soon as possible, as soon as the construction process is over. And also handover process entails passing of all the relevant papers. So the paper related to the vehicle, paper related to the electromechanical devices, all these things. So there was delay in that. Papers were not available during the and some of the plant definitely. And over and above, reluctance on behalf of the ULBs, that is also visible in some of the plants they have not taken. I mean, there could be big cities, there are small cities as well. I mean, some reason they are not taking. There are 9 cities as of now which have not taken handover. So this is one of the technical problem. If you see on the left-hand side panel, so this is one of the port treatment plant where if you see the mechanics, it is supposed to pump out the sludge from the dislodging vehicle directly. But you need to have a sludge chamber, you need to have a screen before you take the sludge, before you try to pump out the sludge, right? So with our advocacy, with the Jal Nigam and all, if you see on the right hand side, the location of the pump changed and there has been a screen chamber constructed. Now, once the handover is done, the major important thing is that what would be the costing of the operation and maintenance of the plants. Now, the initial contracts available given by the UP Jal Nigam to the companies who are constructing the plant, it indicated that rupees 1.25 crore to be given for operationalizing the plants to the same company by the ULB. Now, ULB started thinking, how can I give rupees 1.25 crore per year to a company to run a plant? So they were thinking that it is not possible for them. Then CSC did a study in 2022 to understand the costing of FSTPs. So based on the findings, we have understood that 32 KLD FSTP, and there are three major types of, in terms of costing, we found that three types of technology: drying bed based natural system, Tiger biofilter based system, and hybrid system. So we identified cost component for operation and maintenance. So the maximum cost is coming to 22.32 lakhs per year, not month, and 16.8 lakh minimum cost for natural based system. So which is around 1.5 lakh to 2 lakh per month. This is cost. The urban local bodies can add profit value to this when hiring any agency for O&M. Now for the co-treatment plant also, we have calculated the cost. So for 100 KLD co-treatment plant, the cost operation O&M cost coming to 20 lakh, 20 plus lakh. And for 25 KLD plant, it is coming to 11 lakhs. So we presented the data to the government, and government issued an order to the cities guiding them, when you do the contracting for O&M, please note these cost figures, so that you do not land up with giving a high value contract to the people, because high value contract ultimately means high cost of operations, and affordability will reduce over time, so sustainability will be affected. So that is the whole reason the state has issued this order. So along this order, the state has also issued a guidance note on the desludging fix, because the experience from the various ULBs, medium and small size ULBs and big cities also, is that the desludging cost varies from rupees 500 to rupees 4,500. So the government of CSE and the government started thinking, what is the logic, what is the economics behind it, the desludging phase. So based on that, we did a survey, and with the survey, we come up with a desludging cost calculator. And in the desludging cost calculator, two important variables is number of trips made by a vehicle per day and the number of distance to be traveled per trip. Based on these two important criteria, desludging cost is fixed. And once the cost is understood, we can have understanding about the profit, how much profit and the fees amount can be derived on. Based on this table was given to the cities in the same letter by the state mission office, saying when you pick the desludging fees in your bylaws, please take note of these figures. So it means if your distance, plant distance, is less than 10 kilometers, and your vehicle, maybe your vehicle gives 2 trips per day, the cost will come to 750 rupees. And if your cost is 750 rupees and you are negotiating with a private operator for 2 trips, you can give him 1,200, so that his business will be viable as well, and the city people will keep on getting the desludging services. So this is the reason the state government has issued the this guidance note on the desludging cost and desludging fees. And additional desludging cost calculator was also given to the cities and facilitated to them, so that they can arrive at the context specific desludging. And once all these guidelines were given, then the city started saying to us that, okay, so this is a new type of contract, we need support to how to write this contract. So because we saw that the contracting, once the handover is taken, contracting was taking also another set of time. So 1 month to more than 1 year, that is the time being taken by the cities to arrange an entity for O&M of the plant, for speedy engagement of contractor. CSE against worked with the state government, and the state government issued a model contract document to the cities so that they can quickly contract. Now the cities in UPs are free to either contractor or SHG women's, or to manage the plant by their own officials. So 3 types of things can happen in UPs. It's a fully flexible model. And the state has told the cities that either Central Finance Commission Fund or ONSON's fund or State Finance Commission Fund can be used for O&M of the plants. Now, when cities, in the last 1 year, cities given contracts for O&M, they have done 2 ways things. So in some of the contracts, they have only given O&M responsibility. In some of the plants, they have given O&M responsibility plus discharging services responsibility to the contractor. Currently, 14 cities are managing plants themselves. 13 subcontractors and 4 cities have engaged SHGs. Now SHGs are engaged under the Amrit Mitra scheme, which is came late, and this is a good relief for the state because cities are now engaging women in the sanitation process in an important manner. We will be speaking about them in some future episodes. Now coming to the softer part, with our experience from the Chunar and Bijnor, we found that drafting of the bylaws to newspaper publication and then taking this to the gazette notification process takes a longer time. But gazette notification of the FSSM bylaws is important because it has important component on fees and fines. This gives them a legal positioning. The city has a legal positioning. To ensure speedy progress, CSE supported the department to develop one city state model bylaws, so the cities can get assistance on the drafting part. So this has helped the state, and this has quickly achieved a level. So currently 10 cities have not drafted. Out of the 56 cities, 46 cities have drafted something. And now dislodging is a challenge. Now, currently the UP cities, 20% is of overall plant capacity utilization. And for that, important thing is that we need to register all private operators and regularize them. Now, dislodging vehicle is not a problem because under Amrut, 2 to 3 vehicles are given to all the Amrut cities. Narrow lane is a problem in cities, and my colleague Hari will be speaking specifically on this. And distance of the plant from the city is important because it increases cost. If the distance increases, the cost, dislodging fee cost increases. And in some of the cities, distance is very high. So 8 plants more than 15 to 20 kilometer distance from the cities, and oversized treatment plan that we've already discussed. Now, we did a quick survey in 18 cities. We tried to understand what is the dislodging potential of the cities. Now, if you see the left-hand side panel, total plant capacity excluding Lucknow, we are excluding because of certain reason. So excluding Lucknow, the total plant capacity is 532 KLD. Now, what is the potential of the city to achieve the plant capacity utilization? We found there is a 60% potential of plant capacity utilization. Why and how 60%? For that, you have to see the right-hand side pie diagram. So 60% can be achieved in 2-pronged approach. So one is the left big pie, which is household commercial on demand basis. The kind of demand currently households makes to the private dislodgers. If the same kind of request comes, same trend happens, this will cater 65% of 339 KLD, and the rest 35% can be catered by institutional scheduled dislodging. Institutional scheduled dislodging means the scheduled dislodging from common cities, PTs, government housing colonies, school, colleges, etc. So if we do demand-driven dislodging and also institutional scheduled dislodging, this can cater 60% of the plant capacity utilization. So current plant capacity utilization is only 125 KLD. Now the question is why there is a gap? Why this gaps means 339 minus 125? This means currently sludge is being, dislodgers operators are working, but sludge is not coming to the plant. So this takes us to an important area that monitoring is very important. We did training and mainly on operation and maintenance of the plants and model bylaws and other workshop and exposure visit. And we did, IEC programs. This is an ongoing process. We do more rounds of IEC programs. This is done. And also we do state level monitoring. The state urban Swachh Bharat Mission urban director and Amrut director, they have both the department have been very active following up with the cities to take this agenda forward. We do ease of septage management tool implementation. We came up with a report, and it shows that 7 cities managed to secure only 1-star rating, and rating was given based on 3 major areas: functionality of the infrastructure, sustainability, inclusivity. Right. So now, what is the learning and all? So one thing is important, what we have understood, that There is no universal technology. Treatment choice is context specific. We cannot go for indiscriminate replication of technology, not 32 KLD everywhere. We should not do over designing. This is resource intensive, and we can save resources on this, and this also affects sustainability adversely. And also in UP over here, the FSM is being upscaled. The pace might be questioned, but this is progressing over time. And underperformance of FSTPs and post-treatment plant is a challenge. Sludge is not reaching to the FSTPs in adequate quantity that we want, but that has to also be kept in mind. This is the early year of the program, and over design leads to high capex, and dislodging from narrow lens of cities is a challenge. And also, most importantly, affordable sanitation is critical for sustainability. Since affordability is important, so that's why UP government has issued order on the operation and maintenance costing of the plant, costing of dislodging fees, because affordability leads to sustainability. And if our sanitation system is sustainable, we will be able to save our rivers. And so these are the couple of things that we need to do in the coming year, this year in UP, that we need to bring adequate quantity of sludge. We need to continue to have monitoring at the state level, and smooth handover of plant is important. And operation and maintenance of the plants is very important. We need to see that an SOP, standard operating procedure document, is released very as soon as possible, because many of the plants are coming to the stage. And reuse of treated biosolids and treated water is coming up as a big challenge, because given the UP plants, the plants have a potential of generating 17 MMTs, million metric tons of biosolids per year. And we need to do something on this, because we have standard issue in India. So with this, I want to close this presentation, and I want to invite Hari on this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Subhika. I'll just share my screen. Is it visible, my screen?
Yes, visible.
Thank you, everyone. So, Subhika has very rightly highlighted that desludging is the most crucial point when we talk about the fecal sludge management. And when we talk about the desludging, we also need to see that whether it is inclusive, whether is it accessible for all or not. So in this session, we will see what are the challenges households are facing who are residing in unplanned dense settlements having very narrow lanes. India, manual scavenging is banned under the Prohibition of Employment as Manual Scavenger Act 2013. Which prohibits the engagement of any individual for cleaning of septic tanks or sewer lines. Central government is also focusing to achieve that objective by completely switching towards 100% mechanized sewer cleaning. And in that line, they have also launched various missions like Safai Mitra Suraksha Challenge, Namaste Scheme, Swachhata Udyami Yojana Scheme. So all these missions and programs are aimed towards ensuring that zero manual entry into sewers and deaths due to manual cleaning of sewers. But so these are the aims and goals of central governments. But on the other hand, if you see the data of Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, that highlights that around 1,000 people died since 1993. And if we look at the data of last 5 years, around 339 people died due to manual scavenging or cleaning of sewers or septic tanks. And among that 339, the highest number of deaths were in Uttar Pradesh. So at CSE, we try to understand why is it happening, and we did a study in few towns aimed at ensuring safe mechanical emptying of septic tanks to ensure to majorly prevent unsafe practice of septic tank cleaning. The study area or the scope was mainly on narrow lanes and unplanned settlements, because as you already know, if we talk about the technological options available for the wider lanes. There are many trucks or advanced robotic mechanisms available for cleaning of septic tanks or sewers. But we talk about the narrow lanes, particularly less than say 7 feet or 5 feet. Those are the households which are facing more challenge in terms of cleaning of septic tanks, in terms of accessibility of vehicles. So in this study, we look at what is the current desludging practice in the household residing in unplanned settlements, and also what is the capacity of ULBs in terms of providing desludging services in these areas. We looked at the few case studies or initiatives or innovations happening across India, and we identified the current gaps and recommended as a way forward. In this study, we interacted with households, desludging providers, ULB officials to understand what is happening on the ground. A state level consultation workshop was done under the chairmanship of Director SBM to highlight the challenge. What are their views? Is it actually a challenge as per their perception or not? So going forward toward the study, so these are the 4 towns we studied: Jhansi, Shahjahanpur. These are 2 municipal corporations, and then Amroha and Farrukhabad. These are 2 municipal councils. From the pictures, also you can see that these are like very narrow lanes, width ranging from like 7 to 5 feet, and not even a straight line. It's very unplanned kind of settlement. So instead of going city-wise, we summarize what are the challenges these cities are facing. So one of the common challenges faced in these cities is the low frequency of desludging. That is, the desludging or emptying is happening after like 15, 20, or even 30 years in some cases. And that is mainly due to the, septic tanks are not built as per these standards, and many times these are unlined septic tanks. Also, like these 4 ULBs already have desludging vehicles, and they have also small vehicles. But even the smallest vehicle, the width of that small vehicle is 6 feet. So that vehicle can navigate in a road width that is up to 8 to 9 feet. And they further have a pipe of 100 to 150 feet for desludging of septic tanks. So, for example, if the household is residing in a, lane less than 7 feet and beyond 150 feet of pipe, so that become inaccessible for the existing desludging vehicles. When we discussed with the ULB officials, the percentage of households living in these kind of settlements, depending upon the class of towns, it ranged from 20% to 35%. So, unfortunately and unofficially, these kind of unsafe cleaning of septic tanks is still being practiced in small and medium towns of Uttar Pradesh. And if we look at the core issue, why is it the inaccessibility? Accessibility is the issue. So it somewhere links to the inadequate urban planning, which results into the unplanned dense settlement, and because of which there's no options for the household other than deciding for the safe cleaning of septic tanks. The charges for manual cleaning again range from 2,500 to 7,000, depending upon the class of towns. And when we discuss with the sweepers or drain cleaners, who usually do this job, so they mentioned that this manual cleaning is usually being done during the night time, so that there's no objections from the neighbors due to foul smells. No. So these were the challenges from the household or on the ground. But when we look at the what is the capacity of ULB in terms of providing desludging services to the households. So like Subrat mentioned, all the Amrut towns have at least three desludging vehicles. Bigger towns have 5 to 10 desludging vehicles, depending upon the population range. The capacity of vehicles range from like 0.5 KL to 4 KL capacity. Interestingly, when we see that the smallest vehicle, it is like 500 liter capacity, these are being procured in the large cities, bigger towns, million plus cities. But while on the ground, when we analyze that, the demand or the need of these smallest vehicle was more in the small and medium towns, because the percentage of households residing in these kind of narrow lane settlement is higher in the smaller and medium towns. Also, when we look at the state level data, that in UP around 762 ULBs are there, out of which around 133 ULBs do not have any desludging vehicles, be it government or private. So again, unfortunately, the households have had to resort for the unsafe practice of cleaning septic tanks. Also, the non-urban cities, when you talk about the non-urban cities, around 530 small and medium towns have 600 desludging vehicles, out of which only 49 vehicles are private, being operated by the private operators. So this data also highlights very important insights that that the concentration and the number of desludging operators is very low when we look at the small and medium towns, which also highlights that desludging is primarily public services. ULBs or local governments cannot just rely on private desludging operators for providing the emptying services. Also, another challenge faced by the ULBs is that so there are many innovations happening across India for like in terms of technological innovations in terms of desludging vehicles, but those vehicles or innovative options are still not available on the GEM portal, due to which ULBs face challenge when they look for the procurement of the vehicle. So these are the demand and supply side gap we saw. Now we'll look at the what are the initiatives or innovations happening across India. First one, which started around in 2017 and 18 in Leh, which is a double boosting pump. It's a very low cost and easy to use solution. It's basically a trash pump and installed in between the septic tanks and the desludging vehicle. For example, if the current desludging, the current suction pipe of the vehicle is 100 to 150 feet. So using that trash pump, another pipe of say 200 feet can be used. And with that, desludging reach can be extended to 300 feet. So for example, if the vehicle is parked in a main road, it can serve the household till 300 feet in a hilly area like Leh. So it's been claimed that in a plain area, the desludging reach can be expanded till 500 feet. Another example is the case of Jhansi. It's a very interesting case where a national scheme, Swachhta Uttami Yojana, was being used for the procurement of desludging vehicle for sanitation workers without adding any financial burden on the ULBs. So the scheme was launched by the central government with an aim to provide employment and livelihood opportunities for the sanitation workers, at the same time ensuring safe mechanical emptying of septic tanks. So basically, the scheme provides loan to sanitation workers and at a subsidized rate, and also a capital subsidy. So like I mentioned in the start, like Jhansi is also facing the same challenge. They have till now they have a smallest vehicle of 2 kiloliter capacity, which cannot navigate in a smaller narrow lanes. So they procured a small desludging vehicle. They supported sanitation workers for procuring a small desludging vehicle of 700 liters. So the process was facilitated by the NSKFDC, and the ULB provided the certificate and the assurance letter to the bank. So in the case of Jhansi, the capital cost was around 9 lakhs. The sanitation worker receives the capital subsidy of 3.5 lakhs, and the remaining amount is repaid at a subsidized rate of 4%. So in this case, without adding any capital or operational expenditure on the ULB maximize their desludging reach and also provided an employment opportunity to a sanitation worker. There are a few other innovations, like first, another one is Jalodbust. So many times we hear that the emptying happens, emptying of septic tank happens after like 15 or 20 years. So when the desludging frequency happens after a very long period, the solid gets settled at the bottom. So Jalodbust is a agitator-based desludging vehicle which can easily empty the settled or hardened sludge at the bottom. Another challenge is ULBs faced in terms of monitoring of private operators or desludging vehicle. So this vehicle also has a feature of key law. So it means that once the septage is emptied from the septic tank, it cannot be emptied anywhere other than the fecal sludge treatment plants. In that way, the vehicle helps in ensuring safe emptying of septic tank, and also prohibits illegal indiscriminate discharge of septage in water bodies or open lands. Another option is gully van three-wheeler suction machine. It's a three-wheeler auto type suction machine with a capacity of 500 liter. It can easily navigate in slum settlements which have road widths less than or around 5 to 5 feet. So that's the innovations which can be used for unplanned or narrow lane settlement. So conclude the discussions, we found out that irregular and low desludging of septic tanks is the main problem in most of the ULBs, and the focus needs to be continue to mitigate that challenge. Another is the desludging of septic tank is a public service. ULBs needs to give focus on regular emptying of septic tanks and cannot just rely on public operators. Cities which have partial sewer networks, they should also go for the feasibility of small bore sewer systems or solitary sewer systems. These are not yet tried or much researched in Indian context. Another is the lack of regulatory measures, because we need to ensure that that zero manual entry into the septic tanks. As a long-term recommendations, so the current practice of procurement of desludging vehicles is the bulk purchase of desludging vehicles without any backing of any logical data. So we propose ULB level plan followed by state level plan for the procurement of desludging vehicles. And this plan needs to be backed by the factors like what is the town layout, what is the current and actual desludging potential, what should be the fees, because when we reduce the when we go for the small desludging vehicle, we need to also look at the affordability or the financing of the this desludging fees, because when we decrease the size of desludging vehicle, the trips will be more. So we need to look at the financing part also. As a short-term goal, we suggest all the class 4 and our town should make a provision of at least two sizes of desludging vehicles, one big and one smaller, and also a double booster pump with an additional set of 200 pipe feet, so that without any much burden, it's a very low cost options, and the desludging reach can be maximized. And the last one is the profiling of sanitation workers, which I mentioned in the case of Jhansi. It's very interesting and a very cost-efficient option, and also provide a dignity and the employment opportunity to sanitation workers. So this needs to be prioritized at the ULB level for ensuring safety of sanitation workers and ensuring that safe mechanical emptying of septic tanks and sewers. With this, I would like to thank and hand over to Subrat.
Thank you very much, Hari. So we'll go for question answer or experience sharing session now. So before we go for that, there are a couple of comments I can see in the session here, the question answers part. Would like to respond to them quickly, and then we'll go for question answers. So if we go to the chat section, so we can see that just going to the, so Srushti Thakur has written, what is the average FSTP utilization rate? I hope you have seen that on my slide, that currently it is 20% on average, which can be, the potential is around 60% based on our calculation. and adopting certain an approach of desludging. So this is one. Anamika Singh has written, is there any baseline study conducted to estimate the fecal sludge of the area? So Anamika, we did sheet flow diagram studies in more than 60 cities in UP, and based on that, we prioritize the topic and advocated on that basis. And except that, I don't think there is any other estimation. Radhakrishnan Nair has written that septage management is the priority issue in the total urban areas in our country, and lest it will affect the distribution of pure water and hence healthy sanitation implementation in many city and the other urban areas. This septage issue is not at all addressed, and so it should be scientifically addressed at national level for a healthy level. Agreed, sir. Government there is national policy, and some of the states are also implementing it. Some of the cities are implementing it. Definitely agree there should be more effort towards that. Radhakrishnan Nair has written there should be a regulation mechanism at government level to see the field septic tanks are cleaned properly at household level in urban areas. True, but ultimately that has to be mostly demand driven. Sharing about the sharing of PPT. Yes, we'll be sharing the PPT with all the registered attendees here. Our Swachh Bharat program has to be equipped properly in this direction. Majorly of our population is living in urban. Yes, Swachh Bharat mission has that component. Can you share the names of those ULVs that are facing big time dislodging problems in narrow lanes? We want to pilot a pump which is a little similar to the lay pump that you have shared. Abhishek Chaudhary, I would request you to contact us and we'll give you the names. Is there a technology developed for dislodging in hilly communities here? No, separate.
So I can comment on that.
Yeah.
So Sahar has asked that question. Right. So as of now, desludging in hilly areas is a very easy challenge as of now. And we have also worked for a short period with the Uttarakhand government and tried to identify the what could be the solutions in the hilly areas. But we did some level of R&D also, but the cost of vehicle which was coming because it's a prototype, the cost was very high. It was going beyond even 15 to 20 lakhs. So there was no commitment for the funding as such. So that model could not be tried up or further scaled up. So in case of hilly areas, I would suggest there's a need of more of I&D with some source of because always the prototypes are always costly. When we go for the mass level production, then the cost comes at the reasonable price. So as of now, there's nothing, not much being done that level.
Okay, Hari, thank you, Hari. So one question from Veer Puri is that I just wanted to ask what recruitment strategies are being used to attract skilled professionals to the fecal sludge management sector. So I'm not being able to fully understand the problem. Hari, if you have understood, you can just comment on that.
So in terms of so we are trying to utilize the local available skilled or the professional available. So in UP, we are engaging with the SHGs for the operation and maintenance of FSTPs. So we are CSE supporting the state government for the training and capacity building of the SHGs and further providing them handholding support for the operation maintenance. So that's an initiative taken by the state government, and if it goes well, we are planning for the scale it up at the state level. Thank you.
Okay, so there are two questions from Bashist Bemori. So number one is that what is meant by departmental coordination problem and how that was tackled. So okay, so in UP, as I've tried to explain, is that the funder is Amrut. Amrut is giving the fund. Amrut is giving the fund to UP Jal Nigam. which is the agency responsible for construction of plant. UP Jal Nigam has contracted out agencies for the construction work. This agency is again in some cases sublet another organization for this. So, so there are two, three, and more than that, there is urban local bodies where this construction is happening. In many cases, when you reach out to certain department, they said they do not have the information. It is available with other organization. So this has created a problem, and also when trial of the plant happens, it is important that the plants receive sludge to run the plant. Now, bringing sludge to the plant, the implementation agencies who work there, they want urban local bodies support for that. So there is again problem of convergence, and also for the motor vehicle department comes into the picture, because for vehicle dislodging, vehicle 2, 3, 4 vehicles are there in the plants. During the handover process, the papers need to be handed over as well. So these are the things we wanted to mean for that. And next question is, from your observation, what has been the most efficient way of addressing fecal sludge? Private contractors, SHGs, or ULB itself? So this is a nascent stage to discuss, comment on this. We'll be doing a study this year on the contracting modalities, and probably we'll be able to comment on the better. Thank you for asking this question. What is the average volume of wastewater per 1 cubic meter of fecal sludge? Hari, would you like to answer that?
So wastewater and fecal sludge are completely different thing. In fecal sludge, we do not talk about the grey water. And in general, in fecal sludge, we take the solids as 3 to 4%.
Abhishek Chaudhary, you suggested to work with us, support us on the reuse options. Abhishek Chaudhary, Hari has already shared his email ID. You can please contact us. We'll be happy to have discussion with you. Where is the sludge finally disposed of, or information of sludge treatment or disposal? So we are working on this. Currently, sludge nearby farmers are taking this sludge, and also this is being used as soil conditioner in the urban parks. So this is what happening. We are working on this. This is work in progress, thing. What is the experience of takeover of the treatment plants and the operations thereafter? Is capacity an issue? Experience we have shared, sir, and capacity of personal technical capacity, definitely it is an issue from the very beginning. We can mention here that tender happens 3 times in UP. In the first tender, no capable organization agencies were available. So on the third time, we got agency for construction. So this is a new journey from 2017-18. Have started this journey. So capacity definitely is an issue, and number of staffs is also an issue at the ULB level, plant level, and also as we were onboarding SHG members, SHG women. So capacity will remain a problem at the state level, district level, city level, and the plant level, and we have to continuously work towards that. Which method is successful FSTP plant and economical and easy to implement? The question is not very clear. Hari, if you have understood, you can answer on that. Is Vaibhav Pandit has written, which method is successful for FSTP plant at 12.5? He has written. Also the Nagar Panchayat, what is minimum capacity of FSTP plant should be? I mean, the plant capacity is to be dependent on, based on the findings of the feasibility level study. What is the volume of sludge generated? Based on that, the size to be determined with the future projection. So there is no straight answer to this question. Hari, have you come to that Vaibhav's question? Which method is successful for FSTP plant? I've not understood.
No, right, like you have mentioned correctly that we cannot just suggest the capacity without any pre-feasibility assessment. What is the desludging happening as of now? What is the population? There are multiple factors to arrive at the plant capacity. And first, what is the successful for FSTP, the method, economical and easy to implement? So I would suggest when we talk about the Nagar Panchayat level, like the smaller ULBs, which do not have much technical capacity and in terms of human resource also, We suggest that nature-based, low-cost nature-based systems can be preferred, like unplanned drying beds. Unplanted drying beds is a very low-cost settlements. It's also been scaled up in many places. So I would suggest nature-based systems for the smaller ULBs in terms of economical system.
Joshua Pravi Kumar sir has asked, is user charge adequate to meet O&M cost, or is the state making up the shortfall, and what is the level of subsidy provided by the state? So currently, as the state strategy is that O&M costing of plant operation and costing for desludging has been kept separate. So there is no mechanism that the desludging fees is coming to the city, and city is bearing the plant operation cost out of that. In some of the cities are doing on themselves, I mean, using this policy, but not all the cities are doing this. So these are kept separately. Cities are having their own fund for running the plant, bearing the O&M expenses. Then Avranil Munshi has written, do you believe that adding rules on clear access to cleaning septic tanks to building bylaws is necessary? Are there any similar regulation in Uttar Pradesh at the moment? Hari, can you answer to this?
So, the provision of septic tank cleaning in the bylaws, is it the question?
The question is that, do you believe that adding rules on clear access to cleaning septic tanks to building bylaws is necessary? Are there any similar regulations in Uttar Pradesh at the moment?
So there are like multiple factors. First, yes, it is necessary. And it's also been like in few cities, city level bylaws itself, it's been mentioned that if the like septic tank, like sewer line is not there from the distance of 30 meters from the household, septic tank should be there and should be accessible. Regarding the accessibility, it's all about the local level planning. If it's not a planned settlements, so we cannot just, there's no bylaws for that it should be accessible. So it's all about the local level planning, which needs to be make sure that the household has a required ROW. And if that is ensured at the local level from the planning perspective, definitely the accessibility is pretty much ensured. And also, when we look at the few households, that septic tanks are being built at the backside of the households. Again, in that aspect, the accessibility is a challenge. So all those factors needs to be considered while planning at the local level.
Okay, thank you, Hari. Ritik Jain has written, why hasn't the department thought of constructing multiple plants of lesser capacity in larger cities? This would not only reduce operational cost, but would also open more avenues of convergence. I have not understanding this question. Are you referring to having sewer sanitation solutions in all the cities? Is this your question? Hari, have you come to that question? Ritik Jain at 1210.
So that's a very classic question, and it's a very good question raised by the Ritik Jain. And again, I will come to that. It's all about the planning at the local level. I'll share the example of Jhansi. So Jhansi started the journey with a plant of 6 KLD at the say southern corner of the city. They built another plant of 32 KLD at the northern side. They built STP on the eastern side. They are building again another STP on the western side. So it's all about the how much the ULB is aware. So this is the best solution or best approach, I would say, to ensure that the desludging distance is also very less. The multiple plants are there. They are not overburdened in terms of like human resource and all. But if I mentioned about the case of UP, it's only the Jhansi where this kind of approach is being taken at the ULB level.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Deepak Jadhav has written that he is currently working in rural FSM in UP itself. So can you please help me to select optimum and feasible technology according to geography of rural? Definitely, Mr. Deepak Jadhav, we will be happy to work with you on the rural part. And also later you have also asked to discuss about the urban rural convergence importance. I mean, thank you. We know about that importance and that in rural areas the supply of sludge could be a problem. So at the scale we have to think of this, and near the cities where rural areas there, those cities, those rural areas can easily be linked to the urban local body level plant available. We can speak and discuss more on this, Mr. Deepak Jadhav. We know each other. Sir Augustine has informed us that geobag technology is used in Freetown, but it is costly. Thank you for the information. And have you been using NBS to polish wastewater from fecal sludge treatment plants? Hari, would you be able to respond to that?
Can you please repeat the question?
At 12:14. At 12:14, Sir Augustine has written, have you been using NBS to polish wastewater from fecal sludge treatment plants?
So wastewater again, I'm not getting the what he's asking, but in nature-based system for polishing to polish wastewater, I'm not getting the right one second. If you want to unmute and raise the question.
Yes. And also about one of the question that Hari you have responded. It's about why multiple small plants are being created instead of a big plant in the city. Because Srivastava sir has responded that constraints of having multiple plants of lesser capacity in cities is because of availability of the land. Required area within a town was not readily available. So it is available in the chat itself. Sukarna, we have done all the question answer part. In case if our participants want to share anything.
Then we can close the webinar.
Sorry, come again.
We can close the webinar in that case.
Okay, okay. Then, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you all of you for joining us and asking question and giving us inspiration to take this journey. Thank you, PK Srivastava sir, for being with us for long time. And thank you very much. We are closing the webinar.